welcome back to my channel. So I'm filming today with my little patio doors at the side of me open, so you might be able to hear the birds and the dogs outside, and hopefully not the dogs from next door. So we'll see how this goes. I just wanted to film something really easy today, laid back and easy for me to film and edit, I've got to be honest. So Kirsty actually commented on one of my videos and said she'd like to see all of my finished pages, and I thought that would be a fantastic idea, and it'll be easy for me to do. All I have to do is roll backwards to put these back on the shelf. So I have got, hello Evie, I've got 3 physical copies of Mystic Art Mirrors books. I've got the Fairytopia, the Fairy Tale Princesses and the Mermaids and Friends, and then I've not got all of her books. Don't think I've got the last 2, but all my PDFs and stuff are in these folders. So we'll start off with the actual physical books. I hope that you like the more plain background, and because the door is here now instead of behind me, I might have a little bit of a casting shadow, so I'll have to figure out a way of getting rid of them shadows. Anyway, yeah, so it's still a work in progress, definitely. I've not managed to sort out as much as I wanted, but I'm here anyway. I'm managing to sit down and film, which is nice. And this is my daughter's last day at nursery, so for a week and a bit, so yeah, so I thought I best sit down and film this morning while I can. So we did this one, and I remember that this was the Jane Davenport mermaid markers. Now they do bleed through terribly, but if you're just using it on a single-sided page, it's absolutely fine. And I use Prismacolors for the rest of this. You can see with this skin is not excuse me, I'm still on the verge of getting a cold, but I don't know if it's a bit of hay fever, but I can tell with the shading that it is Prismacolor with this one. I do like the outcome, I do like it. I like the background, and the paper in these boots are really nice. So I did this one. It was Neocolor 2s for the background, I believe, on this one, and again Prismacolor for all the pencil detail and the shiny butterflies that you can just see. If I just move the paper, which way am I better off? There we go. That would have been the Paul Rubens, I believe, or it might have been the KJ Designs by Karen. It is a long time since I've done this, and there are some stickles on the page as well, just glistening in the light. This was the page that I nearly did this month. I'll show you my finished one. I've just got a tag at the top. So I did this one, and with this copy of the book I did pay a little bit extra, unbeknownst to me, and I got the printed out copy of this, so I just used that as a reference. It's the same one that's on the front. I used that as a reference to do this picture, and I used pan pastels in the background. I did set that with a fixable adhesive, is it? The spray. And the white gel pen work on this took longer than the whole colouring the background altogether. It took me so long. I wasn't using the best gel pen at the time, and it kept running out and stopping. But the actual outcome I think is really beautiful. I really like that one. I just use stencils in the background just to make my life a little bit easier. Are you coming over now? I've got one outside and one at my feet. They've been little troopers, these dogs, since I've been basically couch bound. They've been sat with me all the time. It's been nice. So I think this is where I started doing distress ink in the background, and I was just messing around, and it's just a little stamp that I used. I wasn't using the water effect at this point. Glossy accents. I've not used glossy accents for the longest time on eyes. You see how shiny they are. Really pretty. And I believe that this was Prismacolor again. Some of my blending was terrible. And then Jelly Roll for these little dots. Now this one was a favourite of mine. I love this one. Absolutely love this one. I based it off a character in Avatar. You know what, I've never even seen that movie, but I've seen pictures of it. And then when I went to Florida, they've got a whole area in Animal Kingdom, and that's how I knew what the colours were. But yeah, it was so fun to do this. The background was Bruchot powders and embossing powder for these little bits here, so they are really textured. The skin, I just used alcohol markers, I believe, yeah, and I didn't shade or anything. but I think I pulled that one off. That's really, really nice. So this is my finished page for this month. I don't think, did I do, yeah, I did a colouring chat with, was it some part of the hair or the base of the skin? I'm pretty sure, but I'd already done the background. And I used masking fluid on this as well and peeled it off in that video, and that's quite satisfying to watch. I just added some stars and some dots, and then Prismacolor again for all the pencils. I love how she turned out. So you can see all alcohol markers and the not bleed through, the watercolour, but I protected this page, so that's okay. So that's the first one. I have done actually quite a few of Mystic Art Mirror's books pages. So we've got the Fairy Tale Princess. I will have to do this in little parts because I'll need to stop to stretch my leg, so I will be right back. So book number 2 is the Fairy Tale Princesses. Now I haven't done a whole lot in this one, not as many as the other ones anyway, but I did the Ariel one. That's a watercolour background. That's when I very first started doing watercolour backgrounds, I believe. And I think this was a body colour as well, with Debbie from Debbie Loves to Colour. Pretty Ariel. See, I've used alcohol markers on that one. Is that right at the back of the page? Yes, there isn't as many in this one. This isn't my favourite of her books. I did the Tinkerbell one. Now I do remember that this one was another body colour with Kate from Kate's Colouring Haven. Yeah, and I used a pan pastel background on this, and I think I based most of it actually with pan pastel. And the wings, look at the wings. I went over all of the wings with stickles, and at the time it was probably Wink Stella. Now I don't own that pen anymore. I've got a pen that's very similar, the Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen. They're very similar, if not identical. They do the same thing, so I didn't feel like I needed to purchase another one. But yeah, and glossy accents on the eyes. You can see in some of my boots the stages that I go through and the things that I like using over and over and over. So that's everything that I've done in that one. We've got the Mermaids and Friends. Now this one was one of the earlier colouring books, and these aren't single-sided, which aren't my favourite. I like the option of being able to do anything on the page, so this took it away from me a little bit, as you can see. But I did get this portion at the back. Let me find it. Yeah, this portion at the back of the book is actually little snippets of other colouring book, the first one that she brought out, I believe, and I downloaded that as a PDF, and that's in my folder. So this one was a very early one. I can tell by the shading. I've tried to use watercolour for the skin there, and I like to say that I've improved quite a lot since this. I really like this picture though, and I'm pretty certain I've got that as a PDF, but we'll find out in a minute. And then we've got this one. I didn't finish the background. There's at least one more out of this boot that I didn't do a background on. Watercolour for the hair, and that's everything in that portion. So that is a separate boot to this one, which I know it's confusing, but it is. I have just realised, I am certain that this is a PDF. I'm positive it is actually. I will be right back because I think I did this month on, and I bought it as a separate PDF. So yeah, I'll put the page there to save it. I'll be right back. Yeah, so I was right. This page here, she did as a bundle of 3 on her Etsy, and I didn't recognise it at the time, and I purchased it. And what do you know? People are caught in the grass. What do you know? It's the same picture, and I cannot believe I didn't realise at the time. So I've got this as a PDF. I mean, I could scan this in, but I do struggle with the spine of these books. But that is that's another finished page for this month. And I used if you watched a couple of videos ago, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I uploaded a video of the Astra pastel pencils that they're a dupe for the Holbeins. And they are absolutely fantastic. I coloured this whole page with just them pencils. and I was so impressed. Well, I'm really impressed. The fact that I managed to get a smooth skin, beautiful hair, yeah. So I can't believe that I didn't realise that I already had this picture. Anyway, so put that in my finished pages pile and then drop it on the floor. See, I'm struggling doing the most basic of things. Right, stay. Don't worry, Eva, I'm not talking to you. Dog's looking at me like I'm mad. This one was a pan pastel one as well, with a little bit of pencil detailing, and then the tail is the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. Oh, there you go. All them sequins, really pretty. Really pretty. I was really happy with that one when I'd finished it. This is the one that I was talking about with no background, but look at all them stickles on the unicorn horn. I went a bit over the top there, didn't I? And on her stockings, stickles, but that was Prismacolor, I can tell with the blending. And the stickles have actually bled through a little bit though, you see. And is that going to be everything out of this one? No, I did this one. I did this one and I changed her into an alien, and I used some stickles on her face, and then the background is actually pan pastel, but it's pan pastel, but it's got like a slight fine glitter. There's a fine glitter and a coarse one, and this one was the fine one. Really lovely, but it has gone over to the other side, and I did fix that with a spray, I do believe. So that is the Mermaids one. I like the fact that now she does them single-sided, so that's more my cup of tea. So I've got this huge folder. It's not just Mystic Art mirrors, there's other bits and bobs, and I've got another folder as well. So apparently I keep 1,000,001 tabs in here for finished pages. Well, at least I'm reusing them. So I will just have to quickly flip through, because not all these are Mystic Art mirrors, it's just my art and other people's art. This one was another one. This one came with that other PDF that I just showed you that was in that first colouring book, the third colouring book, sorry, the Mermaids one. So this came in the same PDF, and I used Prismacolor on this one, and with this one I will take it out. Oh, by the way, these were printed out on the grey toned Strathmore paper, these ones, and I tried to give a glow effect. So the glow effect is coming from this direction, so it's just on the bunnies and there, and that's the first time that I've tried any sort of glow effect, and I'm really happy with it, And then we've just got a little bit of watercolour paint splatters for the background. I didn't want to go over the top with that one. I was really happy with just the illustration itself being coloured. So yeah. So we've got another one this side. We have this one, which that one was part of a PDF as well, because I've printed that out on tan tone paper, this one, and I've used Distress ink in the background, lots of watercolour paint. Again, I was pleased how that one turned out as well. The skin was really smooth. I'm sorry about the glare, but I don't want to take all of them out. There is all sorts in here, a real mix and match. Some of them won't fit in the folders because they're too big. Do you remember that one? I was really proud of that one. Oh, hello phone. Always when I'm filming, but I hope you enjoyed that Game of Thrones ringtone. Yeah, so this was another watercolour painting that I did. This actually was a Hannah Lynn page that I not stenciled, what's the word, photocopied onto watercolour paper. I think that was the right word I was looking for. Yeah, so right, so the Mystic Art mirrors. Oh my god, there's too many loose pages in here, Deborah. I need to find some folders that are slightly bigger. Oh, that's right, we've got one Mystic Art mirrors here, which is just on watercolour paper, and that would have been with the Prima watercolours, I do believe. Got Hannah Lynn. Why I print things out a bazillion and one times, I don't know, but I do. So this one is another Mystic Art Mirrors, and I was very pleased with how this one turned out. I was very proud of this one. I need to start doing these more on watercolour paper, but at the time of me printing this out, I had a different printer. It was a Canon E something, and it was over 18 months ago now, but that broke on me, and the new printer that I bought will not fit any sort of watercolour paper in, which is really unfortunate. I need to save up and get a better printer, just so I can do these sort of pictures again, because I so enjoyed that, so enjoyed it. More Hannah Carls on. Dragons, of course it wouldn't be my channel without a couple of dragons in there. We have got, now I don't remember the name of the PDFs of these ones, but I'll link all of the books, the PDFs down below. I'll have to go back into my orders on Etsy and I'll pop all them in for you. But we've got this one. I don't know whether I should be covering that up or not, so we'll quickly flip to the next one. There's one there, one there. Now I did do part of this one on the channel, I do believe. I'm sure I did. And I think that's the one and only time that I used that neon green jelly roll pen, but it worked perfectly, and a pan pastel background. Really nice. We've got this one, which I did a completely blacked out background. I made her eyes really big as well, and then the white that you can just see here is charcoal, white charcoal, and some watercolour paint. So how many more have we got? We've got the unicorn pixie lady I think, with Neocolor 2s in the background, and then Prismacolor. Quickly flip through. I've got a whip there that I've started in watercolour and I've not come back to. Any others? So yeah, this PDF is one of the first ones, I do believe. I've got a bit of Pokemon at the back, Hannah Lynn. We've got another Mystic Art Mirrors. I'll just check, just in case I've done any more, then I will move the folder around so you can see a little bit better. So that is the last Mystic Art Mirrors, I do believe. So if I just move folder, I think I did a little bit of this one on the channel as well, and I did use the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter on this, and this is all watercolour, I do believe. All watercolour. Just checking. No, it's just Pokemon at the back. Yep, and that's everything in this folder. So let's neatly put that back. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. Right, and the last folder is just this pink one. Now I've had a couple of questions of where I get these folders from, and I just get them from my local supermarket. I did start binding my boots, and I still do that, but when I've just got PDFs that I just want to keep separate, I just use these, and they were like, I want to say £3 or £4 for this folder, so really reasonable. This was a Christmas PDF of Mystic Art Mirrors. I tried to colour it in all Christmas colours. Really pretty. That's not Mystic Art Mirrors. Let me flick from the back and see what we can see. Oh, there is another Mystic Art Mirrors there. No background. No background. Oh, lots of Hannah Lynn actually. More Hannah Lynn. Dinosaur. Now this was a free PDF that she was giving away over on Instagram, I think, and she was doing a competition. Now this is in the latest book, I want to say, or the one before. That's the one that I've not got, but I love how this one turned out. That background was probably 2 or 3 layers of distressing, letting them dry, then doing it again. Really fun. Another Christmas PDF, so that would have been in the same one as on the very first page. I think there was 3, maybe 4, I want to say. And that's the other one, so there was 3. And I think all the rest in this book are Hannah Lynn, because I took all my Hannah Lynn books apart. So that is everything. I want to say everything. I do these videos and then I always come across a page or something that I've missed. But I think that is everything that I have coloured out of Mystic Art Mirrors books. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!